Well, let's now take a look at some of the charges that are being leveled against KEBS officials. They're on your screen any moment from now. Remember, he will be arraigned in court today. So they're being charged with attempted murder, aiding commission of a felony, breach of trust, and selling of substandard goods. Those are some of the charges that are facing KEBS Managing Director Charles Ongwae. Remember, last week he appeared before Parliament to respond to questions from members of Parliament about the contraband sugar that is in the country. However, that is not the reason why he's being presented in court today. He's being presented in court today over the importation of substandard fertilizer. That is a story that we are keeping an eye on for you. Francis Ontomwa is on the ground in court waiting for the KEBS Managing Director Charles Ongwae to be presented in court any minute from now. All right, let's now bring in Francis Ontomwa, my colleague who's following up on this story. Francis, good morning. Good to speak to you. This is a story that everyone is keeping an eye on, the KEBS Managing Director Charles Ongwae in court, but it has nothing to do with the back and forth that we've witnessed in the recent days over the importation of contraband sugar. Ontomwa, what are you hearing on the ground?
Well, good morning, Linda. And yes, the DPP has been quite clear on this one. He has said that he is taking Mr. Ongwae and slightly 10 others who will be coming here in court over the fertilizer, imported contraband fertilizer that was brought here into the country that is illegally. And any moment from now, we are seeing a lot of events happening behind us. We are seeing lawyers and even the citizens actually coming all over here to court. All of them, of course, focused on many activities that will be happening here. But one of the biggest focus, as you say, will be the Ongwae case that will be coming here. And it's interesting, actually, looking at the charges that have been leveled against Mr. Ongwae and his team. Attempted murder, abuse of office. Those are some of the charges that will be brought here in court, and of course many others that we are yet to learn. We are yet even to know the lawyers who will be representing him and who will be handling this case here in court. But by and large, it's a case that has a lot of focus, has a lot of attention from Kenyans, given the kind of discussions and the kind of conversations that have been hitting the country. And it's interesting because every day of our life we keep discussing economic crimes, corruption. Those are cases that have characterized the lives of Kenyans in the last couple of days. Reason why this will be quite important here in court to listen on how this actually pans out. Ongwae was supposed to table a report today in Parliament touching on this imported fertilizer that was deemed contraband. And as fate has it, it has happened that he's now here in court and will be making his way here in court. He has spent the entire weekend in court, and therefore interesting how things are panning out here. So, looking at what has been happening, looking at the events that have been building up since discussions started building up on contraband sugar and fertilizer. Those are discussions that will be, of course, also making their way here in court today. And therefore, it's quite action-packed here. I'm trying to find my earpiece here. It's quite interesting how things will be building up here today. Looking at what the discussion that we've been having with a few lawyers who are part of what will be happening, they're saying that a lot really is expected here in court, and focus, of course, stays on how the judges and those who will be handling this case, of course, drives the probe ahead.
Francis Ontomwa speaking to us from Milimani Locals. Francis, thank you. He did mention the Kenya Bureau of Standards Managing Director Charles Ongwae and 9 other senior officials were arrested last week and taken for questioning at the DCI over importation of substandard fertilizer and circulation of fake KEBS stamps. They were picked by detectives from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations. We expect them to be presented in court today, as Francis Ontomwa did mention. And those we expect to be presented in court include Quality Assurance Director Eric Chesire, Inspection Manager Kilindini Port Peter Ndungu, Port Health Officer Pole Mogeni, and Regional Manager Coast Region Martin Nyakiamo, of course, alongside the KEBS Managing Director Charles Ongwae. That is a story we are keeping an eye on for you.